Welcome back, YouTube. Today I've got a special episode. I'm actually going to share with you my current training plan. So I will go through everything in detail as to what we are currently doing with training. I will show you all the exercises, and the current split is what I believe is the go-to of the splits, and that is push-pull, off, legs off. That is a training split that I have ran a variation of pretty much since 2018. And if I'm totally honest with you, that is a split I can't really see myself deviating from much ever again. Potentially, maybe if we need a little bit more specificity again, I could, work a different split out where we'd add an extra training day. But the conclusion after this year's off season has been a firm one where I definitely believe in order to maximise progress, someone that can train really hard and train to failure the way we do. Again, I'm not saying that I train really hard, but I train hard for my own standards. I definitely feel like it's a split that gives you enough frequency and enough recovery time between each session to be able to send each session the way I love to. So, without further ado, I'm going to do a little bit of screen share. Right, welcome back, my people. Today, I actually want to show you my training plan. So as promised, I will show you my current training setup in detail. Obviously, as you all know, I am working with Luke Miller. He is the man that I am currently, sharing the process with. So over a 10-day rotation, we've got push, pull, off, legs off, push, pull, off, hamstrings off, repeat. So little notes here and some actual mobility work that I actually do every single session. I do actually do extra work on top of this that I find I always need. So something I've been doing for a long time is always prehab and mobility work before sessions. Not only gets you mentally ready for the job that's about to get done, but I think physical readiness is very much up there once you actually gain access into extreme ranges of motion. So that is something I am a massive fan of. If you are going to run any warm-ups, I think basic mobility work could potentially save you a lot of time spent injured and being far more productive in your sessions. So without further ado, the current setup in detail. Both sessions are outlined with my push sessions at full training volume, and then the actual baseline sessions. I have just recently gone through this with Luke again because I did make quite a few changes. Nothing really dramatic, but quite a few adaptations and changes. We actually took reverse pec deck away from the session, added into the pull session, but I did get carried away with the extra volume that I have added myself. So spoke to Luke. Luke has re-gone through the whole setup. So I'm actually going to share with you in detail exactly what we are both happy with working moving forward. And again, this is the biggest reason why I value Luke and working with someone that knows what they are doing. Personally, it's very easy for me to devise a strategy for a client where we are going to work with less volume and find what we'd call an optimal way. However, I am still in bad habits that I will never, ever let go of, where when it comes to me, unfortunately, I have to drive myself and run myself into the ground. So if I did not have Luke's input here, throughout my process, I would already be doing the work I am not able to recover from, especially considering where I am at with the process and the rate of loss that I'm seeing, which is quite rapid at the moment. We have to play smart and we have to box clever with the workload that we are currently running inside the gym. I actually tag calves onto these days, but that is obviously not included on the plan here. So push A, push one, whatever you want to call it. This is pretty much how the structure looks like with exact movements, set, rep ranges. And that is a baseline session, which is actually a D-volume session, should we need to run those. It's still a productive volume. However, it is a volume that allows you to work and alleviate a lot of the fatigue that may have been accumulated. I do have my deloads scheduled and planned throughout the prep. However, we've just done one over a week ago. So we've got pretty much 4.5 weeks of digging before the next one goes. So that's push one. as a reference point, guys, if you want to check that out. Pull 2. This is the one where we actually added the reverse pec deck in from the push session. Again, what you'll notice is majority of my pull work is very much lat based. My lats are still what I'm trying to bring up the most. So exercise selection is specifically unilateral arm work, unilateral lat work, which I believe is king for anyone that is looking to bring lats up. If your lats are already huge, you don't need to worry probably about doing, you know, unilateral, bilateral work, as your lats are huge. So you don't need to worry about the minute details. However, if someone like myself who has poor access overhead, even dual arm like this, it's literally a waste of time me doing any lat bias movement bilaterally. And it's the same thing with anyone else who doesn't have the mobility or structure to do so. So if you do have short levers, a rib cage that is presented upwards, again, you find yourself walking like this, pretty much most bodybuilders do. I would certainly try and work, or at least try out single arm work instead. So that is the first of the pull sessions. As you can see, plenty of single arm work, plenty of rowing, pull downs. This session is actually predominantly a lat bias session where we've got 6 sets of direct lat work, working in vertical, horizontal planes as well, targeting all different divisions of your lat, your thoracic division, obviously your lower lat, and your mid lat through across all these movements here. Neutral pin loaded prime row to finish off on. It's an upper back row. It's an epic row. Again, one of my favorite rows. You're not going to see it in today's session, but we are going to do the second pull session that I'm going to go through. And again, pull baseline. This is the lower training volume all around. Then we have a rest day, following on with a leg day. I did recently add a set of leg extensions to begin with. This is purely to limit load exposure and allow me to have plenty of blood going into the set of hack squat here. I did actually reintroduce the Cybex hack, and I'm probably going to roll with that moving forward, as my Atlantis hack squat, I actually peaked at 11 plates per side for, I think it was 10 reps. And again, having to put thin plates on, you know, and putting that many plates in a task itself. So this is what my peak of my leg day training volume looks like, along with extra specialization work, which is obviously cable pullover of choice. Extra lat work is presented on leg day at the moment. So that is pretty much how this is looking. And the baseline session is just, again, less volume with the pullovers and Bulgarian split squats totally out of the equation. The Bulgarian split squats are contralateral loaded to challenge internal rotation. Again, no holding onto these. These are specifically designed and specifically there to obviously challenge stability, which translates onto the other lifts. Shoulder focus session. This is a very, very simple one. We have actually just gotten rid of the prime incline pin stack and actually replaced, well, actually adjusted it where we are only going to run with the actual prime dead stop shoulder press, and we are actually going to do 3 sets here, and then we're going to do 3 sets on the flat gym shop. So less exercises, same workload, as the prime pin stack has actually died off in the last session, but I'm still able to actually progress these pretty well. So as you can see, less exercises, more sets across each exercise. For me, that is always a preferred way to go. Many people do more exercise for sake of it, doing the same movement, but just a different exercise. It makes no sense. So that's something I would never, ever advise anyone to do. If you're in a position to do so, I would always reconsider your programming and try and find a way that allows you to make more progress optimally. Again, working hard doesn't mean, you know, you have to run yourself into the ground and be unproductive, as we would call it. Again, I'm just adjusting that, as this is something we've already spoke about with Luke and set in stone after the conversation we had last night. Pull number 2, that's actually done at UF now. It's not actually done at FLF anymore. We do actually do our hamstrings FLF, which I'll go to shortly. But first, this is actually the pull session that we're going to go through today. A single arm underhand pull down, 1 set of 8 to 12 and 2 sets of 12 to 15. Fantastic, fantastic lat movement. Again, working with overhead range. Then overhand prime extreme row, one of the best chest supported extreme row, well, rows in general, followed by, we actually run the prime pull down here, overload and length range. But again, I'll go through the session with you in detail today, as that's exactly what we're going to do. And again, following on baseline session, this is the baseline volume that we're going to run when we deload. And last but not least, this is our hamstring session. So I am yet to kind of update that slightly with exactly how it is. So lying ham curl, it's actually both legs now, it's dual. Lying ham curl, 2 sets. We did have SLDL slash RDL here, but we've moved on to 45 hyperextensions ever since I tweaked my back slightly a couple of weeks ago. I just couldn't get back into the groove with the RDL. So 45 hyperextensions here. We will likely film that session for you sometime this month. And then we actually have the pivot leg press for 2 sets. And then we are back onto leg curl, which is a seated ham curl, and then adductor, and obviously we've got calves to tag on at the back of that. And we actually do have side lateral work present in this session, 2 sets of 10 to 15, sorry, I think it's 12 to 20 repetitions actually, reps that we forgot to add here. So on the D volume sessions, you wouldn't have the extra specialization work, and again working in lesser volume here all around, taking a set off the leg press and taking a set off the adductor. Hopefully all this makes sense, guys. Any questions or anything you want to go through in detail, comment below, and again, happy to help. I'm pretty sure Luke will probably be looking out for the comments as well for any reasonings as to why we are doing things as well. Again, this is a great setup. This is one of my favorite training splits. Still, this is the split that many people overlook, in my opinion, because this split can still have a lot of specificity if you know how to program correctly. So this pretty much sums up exactly how my training is looking like right now. Hopefully, you know, you can all take something out of this, or shout out to a little prescript. I am actually currently doing level 2 prescript and the nutrition course. Absolutely amazing work from Jordan and the team. Unreal. So definitely a big shout out, and I probably will cover in detail what these guys offer in another video. But for now, guys, I will wrap this up here and get this video wrapped up. I'm not going to bore you too much. Hopefully all this clears it up for you. You're welcome to obviously use it, share it, do whatever you want with it. You know, I know that sharing's caring, as I like to call it. So for now, take care, guys, and I hope you enjoy this part of the video. Hi, people. So hopefully you enjoy this. I will be doing more updates like this, sharing the process with you all and sharing what I do and how in detail. Any questions, please hit me up below. And as always, like, share, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and hopefully you've got some great insight into exactly what I'm doing currently at just under 12 weeks out from Arnolds UK.